Last week we started off at 272. Today we just weighed in 264.4.
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling?
From last week to this week is no comparison, and I'm at a loss for words. I'm just excited.
Bro, love it. With Nick is like almost like a 40-40-20 split, so 40% carbs, 40% protein, 20% fat. I feel like that works well. Obviously, these percentages are going to change as we move along. Just like you practice, exercise and building your body, you also have to build your mind.
So that's your foundation, no?
100%.
Those are intertwined so tight.
Right. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this can be done in a month. This is going to take some time. You know, so it's a process in itself to be able to go from here to here. You know, and this is how we develop better habits too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have to make it a continual process.
I love it. I feel it. I receive it.
That's it. You got to tell yourself these things too.
I want a big message of what we're doing together is to say, you know what, risk it. Go out and bet on yourself. Post that naked throwback. Do the karaoke. Take the trip. You know, do the tutorial. You know, don't care so much about what other people think, and don't fear, failure, or, you should fear not trying,
Yep.
What do you have to say about that?
I think what you said was perfect. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we're here with the All-In Transformation with my man, Nick Del Toro. So this is episode number 2. So yeah, so we last week we started off at 272. Today we just weighed in 264.4.
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling?
Well, mentally, just knowing the fact that I have a plan, I feel mentally capable. But all jokes aside, mentally, I'm so clear, so motivated, and actually feel happy.
Awesome. So if we're gonna scale adherence from a scale of 1 to 10, where did you feel you were?
Oh, I'm like at 11 or 15 or
Perfect.
something. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nuts. I've been sleeping well. The feeling in the morning, I'm up and ready to go. Some people kind of fight getting out of bed because they're cozy or whatever. No offense to the cozy people out there, but no, I'm ready to go. I'm so clear upstairs, and I know what I have to do that day. I know why I'm doing it that day, and yeah, you can tell I'm just excited.
Right.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
So where do you feel different as opposed to last week? You know, just like what we had mentioned, is like, you're kind of just eating on a whim. You're really no plan in place. You're just kind of just doing whatever you like, compared to now where you have some structure when it comes to meal planning and nutrition and training and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you say you feel different then?
Well, last week, I still had the same desire.
Right.
With work, I still had the same desire with my body. I still had the same desire with my, my long-term goals and aspirations. So I didn't have a plan in place for my physique, and this all bleeds together.
Right.
So last week, no plan, no structure, kind of uncertainty. So it's like, I know what I wanted to do with you. I wanted to create a transformation. I hadn't started out on it yet. I didn't know I was gonna feel this good. I didn't know that looking back on this week, knowing I have a plan, feeling how I feel now, knowing where I'm going, I didn't know I'd feel this energized and motivated and excited.
Nice.
So from last week to this week is no comparison, and I'm at a loss for words. I'm just excited.
Bro,
So.
love it. But that's the one thing, man, is like from here we just continue to build momentum. So it's like, obviously, man, like the scale doesn't lie.
No.
7 pounds, bro. That's crazy.
It's
So-
a 7?
Dude, yeah.
272 to 260.
8 pounds.
8 pounds.
8
Yeah,
pounds.
8 pounds.
Or 7.5.
7.5.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But,
7.5, that's quite a bit. Of course, there's going to be some water dropping, just because of, like, let's say, for example, when we do eat higher carbs or lots of sodium, you had a couple glasses of wine and all this stuff.
A couple.
There will be a little bit of water retention, so there is that transfer in weight from there, being able to pull that off. But we definitely pull some body fat off.
100% agree. You mentioned last week, so let me reference last week again. I mean, I was walking around, and I could actually feel like my lats almost touching my love handles. It's, from growing up in a bodybuilding background and just I'm bodybuilding through and through. I've been lean before, so coming from that and then actually feeling this, and having my side boob, it's just something I've been very uncomfortable with, very self-conscious of, and I was honestly pretty embarrassed to take off my shirt, but I wanted to be vulnerable with everybody.
I think that's a major key, man. We have to be open, because it's like, this is reality. You can't 100%. Avoid what's right in front of you. No. So, and we have to be able to see ourselves for who we are in that moment so that we can, change it. And then of course we have that visual representation of, of the progress that we'll continue to make week in and week out. But yeah, man, it's like, we got to be open with ourselves, man, because at the end of the day, this is one of the things that I honestly, I deal with a lot of my clients sometimes, that they, they want to hide themselves, and it's like, no, man, let it be open. Of course, as comfortable as you possibly can be, or you want to be with yourself, but take your shirt off, show what you got, get disgusted with yourself.
Cool. All right.
Take the shirt off, Nick.
Here we go. I was sitting down, so I might have some creases in my belly.
All right, so I'm gonna look at you this way. Let's do a full circle, man. So I can definitely see midsection is tighter. You don't have as much.
Oh, well, yeah.
Ooh, much belly fat there, though. No, but it's definitely down and less bloated from last week.
Yeah.
But again, guys, we have to, obviously, like we said before, this is not going to be a change that's going to happen overnight. These are gradual changes that are going to happen week in and week out.
But yeah, man, it's gotten so far out and so let myself go that I'm like feeling this. It's like, fuck.
Well, the fat's getting softer. You can even see this a little bit softer.
What does that mean?
Well, it's just because obviously when you have more body fat, it's going to be really hard and dense.
This has come down a lot. Well, I feel it, but still, it's super self-conscious.
Yeah.
The other self-conscious thing is this.
We're just keeping it real.
It's come down.
We're keeping it real.
And honestly, we weighed in Saturday.
Yeah.
I picked out Sunday still. I had wine and olive burger and Uber Eats and yada yada.
This is just 6 days.
This is only 6 days.
Yeah.
So
from Monday till now, we've still been able to pull out.
Saturday. Yeah.
Or Saturday rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We're killing it, bro.
So
we just gotta keep taking it step by step.
I'm motivated.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah, buddy. Woo! Because that's what's gonna be that motivating factor to finally say, forget this. I'm doing this. I'm putting in the work.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna make shit happen.
Yeah, it's you say disgusted with myself. I don't want to body shame anybody, but yeah, I mean, coming from where I was and then having my waist kind of growing and everything, and then having this, and I'm surrounded by Instagram and Facebook all the time, so I know that I have a very skewed perception of what a real person looks like and what a healthy individual looks like. So I was kind of physically very turned off, but then also just not committing. That's why I'm disgusted with myself, because I was like starting and stopping, and seeing kids come up and then just following through, winning the day like Hunter says and stuff.
Yeah, and that's actually what I always say. You got to win the day.
Every single day.
Every day.
You say also process, focus on the process.
Focus on the process.
Yeah, we have the outcome all laid out,
yeah,
what we want, and then you deliver the process. And then that, me reflecting on it and having it in the back of my mind is like a rock.
Exactly.
It's like, that's a foundation.
Yep.
So, but knowing you have a proper foundation, I mean, I know your track record, I know who you've helped turn pro. I know, you help a lot of ordinary folks too. So, but
those are my favorite, man.
Yeah, I know those are your
I love being able to hype them up, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you take ordinary people and make them look like damn.
Yeah.
So how important is it? How do you find an actual legit person? Because on Instagram, perception is not reality as we see what's going on in the world.
True.
Perception is not reality. How do you find a legit person and hold back your emotions and your excitement and just really check out someone to see if they're the person that can help you get to where you want to go physically and mentally?
As far as what do you mean?
Like a coach.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Man, really, like you mentioned, see the track record, and then if you want, feel free to contact them. You know, get feedback from these individuals and see like how was it working with that person. Because I mean,
Right.
you know, like for me, it does matter because like certain people have certain ways of going about things. So it's like if that coach matches with you and your personality and how you're able to interact with them, that's going to be important because some of them, you know, like, you know, I love to be honest, but I'm not going to be a dick about it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like, okay, listen, you know, we got work to do. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this can be done in a month. This is gonna take some time. You know, especially when we're having to develop new habits. You know, so it's a process in itself to be able to go from here to here. You know, from eating this to being able to, you know, kind of. Some people can do it cold turkey. But with others, you know, it is a gradual change that needs to be addressed, you know, and like with you, you know, obviously we can be able to make that change instantly because this is what you do anyways. This is, you know, like I always like to mention, and I mentioned in the previous video, that 95% of your daily nutrition, you know, really 100% of your daily nutrition needs to be, you know, good whole foods, you know, and then from there, like you can implement a little bit of, I don't want to say junk, but, you know, some different things into your diet. And it really not really affect you, but like we mentioned, that process has to happen. So depending on the individual, you know, there's different kind of like a different course that needs to be taken. You know, so each client that I work with is completely different. Gotcha. You know, and each plan is going to be different because obviously we're talking about different body types, different metabolisms,
different goals.
Different goals. Yeah. Different work environment, you know, the whole nine, all of it. So it's like,
it's a lot of stuff to consider.
Right. And then communication, you know, is that person going to be able to communicate with you as often as you'd like? If not, then find someone that can, you know. For me, communication is everything. I like to make sure that I'm pretty open with everybody as often as I possibly can, get back to them as quick as I can. You know, of course, you need to be able to respect your own time as far as like your own personal time balance, as well, as a coach.
100%.
But you know, I definitely like to leave that open and be able to keep communication lines open as much as possible. So that's definitely important. Which we talk all the time. You know, like, you know, we're texting back and forth, you know, occasionally. But you're always so busy that, you know, when it's time to work, you know, you got your head down. If you have questions for me, you ask them, and then we just keep moving.
Yeah. And it's all reasonably, you know, timed. It's not like I'm waiting a day or nothing, you know. No. So I wanted to go into like the specs of the diet because obviously I want to lose a bunch of fat, but I also want to gain muscle in certain areas.
And this is what I did with Nick is like almost like a 40-40-20 split. So 40% carbs, 40% protein, 20% fat. I feel like that works well. Obviously, these percentages are going to change as we move along because we'll be pulling from different sources if we need to. Obviously, this week, since we did have a substantial change in weight, I don't really feel like there is going to be a need. I'm going to implement a slight refeed today. So essentially, we'll add about 100 grams of carbohydrates to his day. I'll let him pick and choose what that is, and that's kind of like the fun of it.
Yeah.
You know, some people want to add cereal, like kid cereal. You know, some people want to add, you know, keep it basic and just eat more rice cakes or eat more potatoes or rice or whatever. But that's going to give us a little bit of a kind of caloric boost. That's also kind of help with like different hormones, leptin, ghrelin, and so forth. So it'll help with those fat burning hormones because we don't like, you can say like, we can keep it relatively consistent throughout the week and then have that little boost and then come back down again. And that's kind of like the way I like to go about it. If I feel like it works well, this is how I usually tend to do like even my contest preps. As far as like overall protein, I mean, it is high, but I put it essentially like around where his weight was.
Yeah.
So we're looking at about 270 grams of protein a day, around, I think it was like 265 grams of carbs.
Yep.
And then about 60, how much fat?
I have to look. It was like between 45 and 60-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. But I wanted to mention to these guys just so they know how you calculated that. I mean, obviously we have my weight, and I was about 25% body fat, and then of course you know where I want to go. So I was assuming, you know, that's high. The protein is high, so it fuels, you know, the tissue building.
Right.
And then the carbs are.
There's some science that shows that with the higher protein intake, it does help with overall metabolism, which makes sense because it does take more energy for your body to burn through the protein, as far as like, or being able to break it down rather.
Gotcha.
So in essence, like you have like your carbs, your fats, your proteins, and even alcohol. But each one of these have like a thermogenic effect.
Okay.
So so carbohydrates are going to be a little bit less, fats aren't going to be so high, but protein, even actually alcohol, actually has a higher thermic effect.
Okay, pause on that note. You say I'm going to get 100 extra grams in carbs, but that can't be in alcohol. Is that actually a thing? Can you replace it? Can you drink your carbs basically?
Sure, you can drink carbs, right? If you're drinking like some fruit juice or
Nah,
Gatorade.
that's not what I'm talking about.
No, but if you want to be able to fit in a little bit of alcohol into your day,
Yeah.
which we can, I'm not going to tell you no, because it's not like we have a show that's next week.
Okay. Good point.
So basically, what you would do is you would essentially calculate those calories within the beverage. So let's say, for example, you're looking at 100 calories because alcohol is 7 kilocalories per gram.
Okay.
So let's say if it's 100 calories, which with whatever that beverage is, then you would just essentially replace those with some of the carbs and the fats.
Okay.
And in that way, the total calories isn't going to exceed what we have in place for that day, and we're still be able to fall in line. Obviously, alcohol is alcohol. It's going to have some negative effects on the body, but we don't obviously want to overdo it.
Right.
But that way you can be able to create that balance within yourself and not feel like you can't enjoy a drink with someone or have a beer with your friend or a glass of wine with your friend, and think that it's going to put you back in any way.
Right. But I was just kind of being facetious and asking about alcohol. But I mean, I think it's important for myself to recognize that I'm very impulsive and I know how I react to a good time and everything. So I'm not going to be going to alcohol because I know at this point I don't have enough momentum.
Yep.
I don't have enough mental momentum. I don't have enough physical momentum to have a glass of wine because I know it'll turn into 3.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Cool. But at the end of the day, that is for people that will ask. That's the way to do it. Again, because we want to make sure that we're still being able to fall in line with our goals. Because anything that's going to kind of throw us off is going to do just that, and then it's going to set you back mentally. You're going to. This is the aspect of things. It's like whenever you're trying to really create control within yourself, like you have to focus, like you said before, winning the day, focusing on the process and doing what it takes, to be able to win that day, day in and day out. Because it's those little wins that add up each and every day. That's how you get those big wins. It's the same way how a contest prep works. And this is how we develop better habits too.
Yeah.
It's like you have to make it a continual process. It's like learning tennis, right? Whenever I learned tennis, I remember the first time that I stepped on the court, I was the crappiest player. I was literally hitting home runs over the fence every single time that I was swing.
That's not a good thing.
No, definitely not. You want to make sure you're getting it in the box in front of you, over the net. But over time, through repetition, through practicing my swing, making sure that I did it over and over and over again, I got better and better and better until I became really consistent. And this is the same thing. This is no different. This is life itself. When we're creating habits, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it be work, whether it be with our own nutrition, whether it be training and so forth. It doesn't matter. You have to build through repetition. And it's like
Perfecting the process.
Right.
Yeah.
If you keep letting yourself break in between, it's going to fuck that up. So we have to be consistent.
Consistency. I love it. I feel it. I receive it.
That's it. You got to tell yourself these things too.
Yeah.
So now that we're mentioning this, a couple things that I recommend for people that work with me to do is like to journal. Write a little bit in the morning. Get your thoughts out. This is something that sometimes I fall off, and I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that I can improve on as well. But to journal a little bit, just write for like 5 minutes, man. Write down your thoughts and kind of just like, like you said, just these things you're mentioning. I receive it.
Okay.
But
affirmations.
Tell yourself positive things because we have to be able to switch our mindset. The moment you start thinking of negative thoughts and you have those, obviously that's going to create negative emotions and it's
going to manifest.
It can lead into a bad day. But if you can start off on a good note every day and start with just writing those things down, man, it makes such a world of a difference with how the rest of your day is going to go. If people want to practice meditation just to be able to kind of get themselves out of their own mind, that's a good thing that I also recommend. But like starting your day off with good thoughts is a major key. Also, some books.
Books.
One of the main books that I felt like really changed my life, man, was by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. This dude wrote this book in the early 1900s. And,
Oh, wow. Okay.
And no joke, man, every word in that book can be relatable today. Like every word. And that, like when I first dove into that book, man, it literally switched my mindset instantly. I was just, because for some reason, most people just don't know that we are in control of our lives.
I love that.
You know,
100%.
every thought, every emotion, every action that's taken, you know, we can control. Of course, we can't control the circumstances, but through our daily actions, we almost indirectly do change those circumstances to where we can create things and do better things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So it's like, just to know, like, if, you know, if things are not going right today, you know, like, shift the mindset, switch it out, and then throughout those daily habits, we can change we can change everything.
Then you get more efficient at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then
exactly.
pretty much.
One thing that I like that he says in the book, he talks about cultivating the mind. And that's like, that's one of the main aspects of the book that really like resonates with me. So he says the mind is akin to a garden, right? He's like, you can either choose beautiful thoughts or nasty thoughts. He doesn't use the word nasty, but just like bad thoughts. And he's like, you know, you can plant flowers and it will bloom, you know, a beautiful garden. Or you can eventually just, each nasty thought or bad thought is like a weed in the garden. He's like, the more seeds and weed seeds you plant, you end up having this shitty garden essentially. Obviously he doesn't use this word, but yeah, you can see the difference there. Like, you know, it's like, and this is true, you know, and that's why it's like, just like you practice, exercise and building your body, you also have to build your mind, and you have to almost ensure that you do just that, just as much, because it does make a difference.
That's your foundation, no?
100%.
Those are intertwined so tight.
Right. And this is why, like I said, I tell you to focus on the process.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about books and mentality and everything contributing to energy and all that. I was wanting to hopefully get your thoughts on that, because if you were to mention energy to me, it's like, oh yeah, that person has good energy, or yeah, he's a bad vibe. You know, it's kind of, you get the hippie sense.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are you trying to tell me, hippie? I would say in my mind, but no. I mean, words become, thoughts becomes words become energy, you know, and I just wanted to give a shout out to my team here.
Yeah.
Because we all we're super tight now, and they give me energy, I give them energy, and it's just, we build each other up. So what are your thoughts around that?
Oh man, work environment is huge. The people you have around you is everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you don't have positive people that are going to help push you to be better, then you're more than likely, like, because, you know, motivation comes and goes, you know, but it's like, who we have around us is going to really help us as a whole. Because like, I'm not gonna lie, man, like, if you don't have people like I was just actually alluding to before, it's like, if you don't have those people that are gonna push you to like get you to be better, you know, as far as like, you know, with the product that you're putting out, or whatever it is that your task is for work, and just the people around you that are happy and full of life, and, you know, and smiling all day. Like, you need that love and that light, because if you have people that are and I guarantee you guys, if you pay attention, if you have someone around you that is being negative, you know, it's, you know, or just like they're being argumentative, or, you know, just anything that you wouldn't feel right, like you feel that there is a transfer in energy. So it's like, when you have a good environment around you with good people that are just constantly flowing, you know, it makes a world of a difference. It makes such a huge difference.
100%. That's why it's easy for me to just kind of more, what do you call it? Elaboration on the work environment. That's why it's easy for me to put in so many hours. You know, obviously I get sidetracked with the conversation sometime, but that's why, you know, getting back to mentality and productivity, you know, with the mental clarity and everything, you know, the diet has a lot to do with it, but the team members and the goal of the mission of the company has so much to do with it.
That also falls in line we were talking about with the coach, you know, choosing the right coach, because that energy makes a difference too. You know, if you have someone that's constantly yelling at you and, you know, and putting you down and saying you need to be better, you know, or like stop fucking up, or, you know, like, a lot of times that doesn't work. For some people it might work. Some people want that boot camp stuff, but like, for a lot of people, man, that you almost kind of like, I'm not going to say baby them, but you have to be kind, and you have to, like, you know, show them in a different way. Like, that's
Yeah.
how I am. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, if you want to get better, then you need to be better.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not gonna be a dick about it.
Yeah,
So,
I like not beating around the bush, but I mean,
Right.
don't name call me because, you know.
because like we said,
I don't
that transfer
respond
of
to that.
energy, man, is
Yeah.
real. Is real. And it's like we have to constantly try to pick each other up.
Yeah.
You know, and keep each other high.
Like betting on yourself, like doing this whole series with you. I was, you know, kind of it's like, Nick, just do it. You know, you kind of risking it and betting on yourself. So
Right.
What's
What's the risk?
The risk for me was just kind of mentally, I guess fear maybe. Fear of looking dumb,
Okay.
fear of being laughed at. You know, it's like fear of being sneered at because, you know, I like to post a lot of throwbacks.
Yeah.
Because it's motivation for me, but it's like, dude, that's 40, 50 pounds ago. You know, so it's like that's a risk for me, and then also the fear of not following through.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping you were,
Yeah.
or thinking you were getting to.
But
Because it's
just
like-
being willing to say, you know what, this is a pretty good what do you call it, accountability tactic of making this whole series.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what, I want a big message of what we're doing together is to say, you know what, risk it, go out and bet on yourself, post that naked throwback.
Oh,
you know,
man. Go check out his IG, by the way.
do the karaoke, take the trip, you know, do the tutorial, you know, don't care so much about what other people think, and don't fear, you know, failure, or, you know, you should fear not trying, you know. What do you have to say about that?
I think what you said was perfect. Because it's like, by us doing this, number one, you're holding yourself accountable. And like, I think the biggest word is to not have fear, especially the fear of change. I think that's a lot of times people don't realize that they've kind of sucked themselves into being comfortable where they are.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if they do strive to you know, want to be better in whatever way it is, it doesn't necessarily have to be with the physique. You know, it could be with you know, gaining another certification through work or something.
Yeah.
You know, and not really putting
Continuous
in that,
improvement.
right,
Yeah.
and not looking to improve. I feel like, man, because I'm not gonna lie, dude, I went through this all last year, where like I just felt like I couldn't get it together. You know, and that's where, yeah, man, like, because I wanted to prep for a show, and I just like, it was like something was just stopping me. But that's whenever I eventually was just like, you know what? I kind of like sat there for a minute, and I'm like, all right, I know this is gonna come, and when it hits me, I'm ready to go. And it's like, it finally hit. That's why I was like, dude, had such good momentum rolling in for this little contest prep that we were, you know, working on together.
Okay.
And it's like being able to change that. I think the major key, what you said, was not really caring about what others think.
Yeah.
That's the key. Is
That's
just
a big key. Yeah.
just focus on you and focus on what you want. And you being able to put in those actions each and every day to be able to achieve that goal. Who cares what they think? There's going to be people that are going to cheer you on. You know, it's like when you put out some type of energy, man, people are going to love you or they're going to hate you.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to look at you because a lot of times it has to do with their own insecurities.
For sure.
You know, where they're what they're feeling
I was
themselves.
one of those people. Yeah.
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 And like it's like they almost like they want to see you doing good but not better than them. You know, like it's a weird thing, man, but it's true, it's real. But don't care. Don't like, because by doing this, you're going to build that momentum up. You know, you're going to keep getting better. You're going to see yourself getting better, and it's going to make you happy. And it's going to and that energy is going to allow you to continue striving for more.
Right on. So I'm feeling this energy. I'm feeling this momentum building. All my workouts, by the way, are fantastic. I have so much, Jonathan recommended a few supplements, you know, the creatine monohydrate, which is, I don't know if we want to get into the specifics. Do you mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, all it does is it helps with increased ATP production.
Right. So it's just basic stuff. That's nothing fancy, but all of my workouts, it's like, okay, I'm pushing like more than normal weight, you know, and I'm on this trajectory, very focused with a foundation. So, yeah, what was I getting at?
The workouts.
The workouts are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sleep is amazing. Everything is going in this way. And so, he wanted to mention in this segment, what can we do on how can we progress?
How can we look to continue to progress?
The refeed.
Yeah. So I like to, like I said, we saw the big spike or drop in weight. So that's why we're implementing the little bit of a refeed. It's nothing too crazy. It's just adding in, like I said, 100 grams of carbs. So that's going to be roughly 400 calories for the day. That's going to give us a good little energy boost. That's going to keep us working into the next week. Whenever I work with somebody, I'm going to give you guys like kind of a little bit of insight that I have. It's like when we have good momentum like this, I like to have the mindset or the approach of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh yeah.
So we're not going to really make any changes to the diet. He's comfortable with it. He's feeling good.
Super good.
You know, the meals are going down well. His digestion has improved and is doing really, really good, which is important. Because we have to make sure that your digestion is on point. Because if not, your body's not absorbing the nutrients, you're not receiving it. So that's going to be able to hinder progress. So obviously he's been doing well. He's been able to. We talked about flexibility with the first video. So whenever he's been on the road, he's having to kind of implement some different changes.
Yeah.
You know, his favorite thing is these rice cakes here.
Yeah. So I mean, what's on my diet is a lot of steamed rice. So with the increased energy, I mean, I take on more stuff for work when I can, and with the energy, you know, it's like I had to hit the road a couple times this week, and then there was a time that I didn't have everything that I needed. So I mean, I have always, you know, this type of thing to run and get.
Right.
You know, and you know, you just calculate the however many carbs and calories is in whatever meal.
Yep.
Replace it with something that is not perishable easily. You know. And plus, you know, these taste amazing. You know, I'm in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Quaker. I will gladly keep buying these full price.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. They're actually really, really good. But that's the part of being able to implement different changes within the diet that you can make. Something for you guys to keep in mind whenever you're going about your week, because there's going to be times where we're not really 100% prepared, or for him, you know, he's on the go, so you know he have to, you know, instead of having chicken and rice, pound down a protein shake with some rice cakes just to make it quick and easy, and then you just keep it moving.
And your body's not missing anything, right?
Exactly, exactly. Guys, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, both mine and Nick's channels.
Yeah.
And so I hope you guys are enjoying it. And until next time.